Everton have started the new season looking like a completely different team, winning all 4 games so far. They've been great to watch with exciting individuals combining into a team that have played some good football. So how exactly have Everton started so well? And what can we expect to see throughout the season? Back in March, I created a video on Everton and how Ancelotti had changed the way Everton looked to play in the second half of the season. Going with a 4-4-2 with RICHARLISON and CALVERT-LEWIN up front, playing very direct, making the ball cover a lot of the pitch. And it was somewhat successful. They were beating the teams you'd expect them to, but against Man City, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Tottenham and Wolves, teams that were playing better football is where they lost. They were able to find success out on the flanks with RICHARLISON roaming in these areas along with DIGNE, who had a big influence on the team. But they didn't have significant quality throughout the squad. The midfield was missing a link between the defence and the attack. The direct pass to RICHARLISON, who would look for CALVERT-LEWIN, couldn't be Everton's long-term plan, and more creative quality needed to be added. So going into this summer, Carlo has had the chance to get a shortlist of players that suit the way he wants to play and upgrade the quality of the Everton squad. From the business that has been done, it's clear that Ancelotti looked at the team and wanted to revamp the midfield. This is to add extra defensive structure, players with a good range of passing qualities, physical and brave players, along with players who can add a more creative link in the middle of the pitch. And in the planning of signings, somewhere along the way, Ancelotti decided it was best for them to have a formation change and look away from the 4-4-2 they'd been using. And so, as the transfer window opened, Ancelotti worked his wonders to persuade players to join his side and work hard for his project at Everton, bringing in players that are a significant upgrade on the players they have already, making big progression in the transfer market and showing the Premier League that they are here to compete. The first signing that was confirmed was Allan, a defensive midfielder from Napoli who was working under Ancelotti a year ago, so somebody that he likes when at the club and wanted to bring to England. Signing someone like Allan, who had been playing in the Champions League and is a great age at 29, is a huge coup for the club. I discussed him in my transfer rumours video a while back, going over his qualities, and it's clear why Carlo wanted to get him back, noting his 3.5 tackles won per 90, the most in Serie A, as well as his passing ability, 3.3 long balls per 90. £22.5 million is a decent price for a player who will be starting every game this season when available, in a position that completely changes the way the team plays with his defensive qualities and importance. The next to be confirmed was Doucoure from Watford, a midfielder that has proven himself in the Premier League, and with Watford being relegated, he was set for a move to a Premier League club. He's a versatile player who has played defensive, central and attacking midfield for Watford, capable of being a box-to-box player and chipping in with some goal contributions throughout the season. In the 18-19 season, scoring 5 and assisting 6, and then the season before, scoring 7 and assisting 4. Impressive for a midfielder that covers a lot of the pitch. Although, when we get into how the team have performed, Ancelotti was looking at him as more of a box-to-box player, not aiming to get too many goals or assists from him. A player that offers more quality than Tom Davies, for example, who doesn't seem to be favoured by the manager, leading to the third addition of James Rodriguez on a free transfer, departing Real Madrid in what is seen as a bigger coup than Allan from Napoli. Ancelotti is clearly a big admirer of James Rodriguez from his time at Real Madrid, and even with that being a while back now, he still sees the qualities he can bring to Everton. He scored 13 and assisted 13 too when managing him in Spain, the best season James Rodriguez has had. And in that season, James was used in many positions, mainly right wing but also attacking midfield and the left wing, so Carlo will be happy to bring him in for his flexibility too. In recent years, he's been on loan and it never seems he's had the full backing from the manager to play every game and have an importance in the squad. It's said that Carlo had been in contact with Allan and James, persuading them to join. And for James, I think the game time, in fact he was going to have a big role in the first team, was a big part in signing for Everton. Also, the prospect of linking back up with the manager that got the best out of him. He knows that he has a good connection with the manager, making it a move that makes sense. And the timing of this was brilliant for Everton. Ancelotti in charge, needing a better midfield, needing creative quality, Rodriguez is available. If they're looking to compete, James Rodriguez brings experience of the highest level, fantastic passing qualities and great technique on the ball to find the back of the net. In that 2014-15 season, James made 77 key passes, the third most behind Nolito and Messi, had the fourth most assists and had the joint most goals from outside the box, 5, along with Cristiano Ronaldo. So with Carlo looking to upgrade the team, he had nowhere else to look but James Rodriguez. In the 4 games played then, how have the new signings performed within the team? Starting with James Rodriguez, his start in the Premier League has been fantastic. He was expected to join and provide a quality creative option in the midfield, and he's proved he can do this in England. He's 4th for the most most key passes with 13, only behind De Bruyne, Salah and Son, who we all know have shown these qualities season after season. He starts as a right winger in the team, but his role in the team allows him to be more flexible with his position, meaning he finds himself sitting narrower, moving into space nearer the middle of the pitch and looking to play passes from this position. He likes to make the switch of play with long balls out to the left of the pitch, finding RICHARLISON or DIGNE who pushes up high. This allows RICHARLISON to be more central. And this is a clear instruction from the manager that James has took on board and has meant he's played the most accurate long balls in the league so far with 28. A very impressive statistic that puts him above Virgil van Dijk with 27, making more long balls than someone who's sitting deeper, so showing he's consistently successful with these passes. Plus, this is what got Everton the controversial penalty, with James cutting inside on his left foot from deep, playing a long ball up the field towards the box which DIGNE heads down and hits the arm of Joel Ward. The latest game against Brighton was the most impressive for him, where he was able to score 2 and assist 1. The assist came from a set piece, which is the bonus you get with James Rodriguez in your team. When a free kick opportunity comes around, he's a great option to provide a good delivery. In contrast, someone who doesn't provide a creative threat, instead the opposite, is Allan. He's been very impressive and is a big part of why Everton have progressed so much. He missed the last game due to injury, but in the first 3 games he was able to make 12 tackles, the 9th most, and of course taking into account the 1 game less he's played. This is what he did so well in his time at Napoli and what Ancelotti's got him doing again here at Everton, being a defensive rock in the midfield and making it difficult for the opposition to counter. Allan is the type of player to kick-start an attack as he takes the ball from the centre-backs. From the first few games, Allan has made 31 key passes from his own half per 90, ranking 3rd in the team with only the centre-backs above him. It's his positioning that is key to his success in the team, which lets the attacking players play with confidence, knowing that behind them is a reliable defensive midfielder. He stays central just in front of the 2 centre-backs, meaning that he can dictate play from this position, but also shift slightly between each flank, reducing space for the opposition. Everton have kept just 1 clean sheet in 4 Premier League games, but there have been mistakes from Jordan Pickford that haven't helped along the way. The structure of the team has been made a lot better with the addition of Allan, and I'm sure they'll want him back in the team as soon as possible. The role of Doucoure has been very effective for Everton in stopping opposition attacks by reducing the amount of time they have on the ball. On the right of the midfield partnership with Gomez, Doucoure is the one doing the pressing on the ball carrier and has shown his ability to do this already. Nobody in the Everton team has attempted more pressures than Doucoure with 81, well above DIGNE in second with 61, and 23 of them have been successful pressures. 39 of the attempted were in the middle third, showing that he's sitting in this area of the pitch looking to break down opposition attacks. Alongside Allan, who does the more aggressive defending and less freedom to move around the pitch, Doucoure is able to press higher and also get into more advanced positions when the team has the ball. The next player to cover has to be the striker that everybody is talking about at the moment. He can't stop scoring, and it's DOMINIC CALVERT-LEWIN. The start to the season has been a huge contrast on the end of last season, where he didn't score after the return of football. However, now he currently sits as the joint top goalscorer with Heung-min Son with 6 goals so far. And this is purely because he's the main man in the box when Everton are attacking. He's the main target when teammates are looking to create chances. Now, as the creators in the team are better and the link up in the midfield department is better, it means he's getting more shots. 15 in 4 games is the joint 3rd most after Kane, Salah and Mitrovic, and his goal conversion rate of 40% shows how lethal he's been up to now. And half of his goals have been headed in, showing how he's been dominant in the air. He's won 17 aerial duels this season, ranking 5th in the Premier League. Ancelotti has continued to show his faith in him ever since his arrival, and with the faith being shown in DOMINIC, the backing of the manager and more minutes has led to him being a great goal scorer. Richarlison has found himself back on the left wing after a change of formation under Ancelotti. Previously in his 4-4-2 he was in the strike partnership, and when playing as a striker he was being asked to do a lot, be the main creative outlet, roaming wide looking to create for Calvert-Lewin. Now however, there is less pressure on him to create and link the team with the goal scorer and enter the final third. With the added quality in the midfield, he can be the one on the end of passes from James Rodriguez, looking to score himself in better positions. He's had some really good chances to score more, only scoring 1 so far though through a penalty. 2 big chances with 9 shots too tells me his luck might turn at some point with the amount of shots he's being able to have. We also know how dangerous he can be on the ball with his driven and aggressive mentality. He likes to take on players, and this shows, sitting 3rd for most successful dribbles with 16. Richarlison will want to be scoring more, along with Ancelotti too, wanting him to chip in with some goals. And from the way things are going, I'd expect to see more soon. And someone who can affect the chance of that is the left back Lucas Digne, a player who has played an important role in the team for a couple of seasons now. Like I briefly mentioned earlier with the passes of James Rodriguez, he finds DIGNE on the left, and with DIGNE pushing up the left flank, Richarlison can get into the box. Here he can attempt to get onto the end of crosses from Lucas DIGNE, who we know can provide that type of service very well. He sits joint second for most accurate crosses with 10 and 8 key passes too, showing exactly why he's so useful for Everton, being a dominant creative threat from left back. Making the 4th most touches in the Premier League with 357 shows how his role is so important to teammates, using him as an outlet to get the ball into more advanced positions. Also, DIGNE is a quality set-piece taker. He assisted CALVERT-LEWIN from a free kick on the opening day versus Tottenham with an incredible delivery on the left, outside the box, finding the striker. If he's ever out the team, then they may have a good player in new signing Nkunku. He signed on a free transfer after his contract expired at Marseille, and at the age of 19 he looks to be a bright prospect. His performance against Fleetwood Town showed his qualities: an assist, 3 key passes, 1 tackle won, 2 accurate crosses and a successful dribble. Consistently making runs on the left flank with the pace he possesses, he looks to be a dangerous player. Possibly he'll gradually get some minutes in the Premier League, and I'd back him to show how he can be a threat in this team. Everton noticed their weakness in the first few games and made a move on deadline day for another goalkeeper. Jordan Pickford has been questionable to many football fans in games last season, and he's made some mistakes at the beginning of this season too. Most recently in the Brighton game for their first goal, the ball bouncing high from a shot, and it should be a straightforward catch for Pickford to make. He stretches up to get the ball, but it slips through his hands and falls for Maupay, who can put the ball in the back of the net. Everton are looking like a quality team at the moment, but with goalkeeper mistakes like this, it could mean they drop valuable points. Olsen has joined, and we'll see soon whether this is simply to be a backup, or will Ancelotti be ruthless and start him in the next game. Let me know what you think will happen with the goalkeeper situation below. So how ambitious can this Everton team be? Where can they finish in the Premier League this season? Currently sitting top of the league, and with the individual performances they've had throughout the squad, it's looking very promising for the team. Only them and Aston Villa have kept a 100% win rate, with Villa playing 1 game less. You'd have to say, with many teams looking inconsistent, and I talked about it in my previous video, it's going to be another weird Premier League season. And well, since that video there have been 6-1 and 7-2 losses for Man United and Liverpool. At the moment, Everton are taking advantage of that, sitting top of the league. And when Leicester were taking advantage of poor performances early on in the 15-16 season, nobody expected them to keep it up. So now we have to take that into account. Everton will gain momentum from this, and Ancelotti definitely has the experience to keep guiding his team in the right direction. Top 4 will be a tough ask, but look how close Leicester were last season. They only missed out because of a huge collapse in the second half of the season. The realistic aim will still be Europa League, taking each game one at a time and hoping to keep consistent. We need to see how Everton will play against a top Premier League side. The Merseyside derby will be a great insight into how they can compete against a team with a lot of quality. December will be a test for them, with Burnley, Chelsea, Leicester, Arsenal and Manchester City. We know how quick games come in that period, and they have some hard sides to play against that month. So comment your thoughts. What should be the aim for Everton, and will they keep consistent up until the 38th game? I recommend that you don't miss out on future videos. Subscribe to Route 1 and like the video if you did enjoy.